Monte James with America's Hot Barn Report. We are here at Platte Livestock Market for the big RCAF rollover event. And I tell you what, folks, if you listen to the Hot Barn Report or Your Ag Network, as you know, everyone is talking about Karina Jones and wants to know what makes our Friday hostess with the mostest tick. Karina, tell us a little bit about your background and what brought you to radio and RCAF USA and your ranching background too.
You know, I grew up in the cattle industry, and there's nothing else I ever saw myself doing besides ranching. I went to college, but just dreamed of getting out of college and going back to ranching. There's just nothing that felt so natural. It's what I felt called to do, why I felt that I was put on this earth. And so I did. I went right back to ranching with my now husband in Custer County, Nebraska, and started a family and, do this deal every day. It's all I know is cows and kids. And I wish somebody would have told me back then what I know now, how hard it is to just stay going under these market conditions. And that's probably what drives me the most to activate for some industry reform, is the fact that I don't want the United States cow herd shrinking any further. I don't want to see any more dispersal sales. I want to save this American cattle industry.
Karina, a lot of people think we hired some hired gun broadcaster from some big broadcasting school, Brown University or something, but that's not the case. I basically interviewed you at a rollover event at Bassett Livestock Auction in Cowtown, Bassett, Nebraska, and a star was born. You immediately, the passion came through, and the knowledge of the cattle industry, the family ranch, and tell us a little bit about, if you would please. Oh, you got calls pouring in from fans right now.
Yeah.
That's New York calling, isn't it? Tell us a little bit about what brought you into radio, and also what caused you to come forth and be an activist, if I may say that.
When Monty asked me after he interviewed me that first time what my background was in radio, I said, well, I'm a 4-H mom whose kids have done the PSA contest at the county level, and that really is the extent of my radio background, I guess. I don't know. I just feel so passionately about what is going on in the industry, the problems that we have, and the fact that we've got solutions on the table that need to go through in order for us to make the American cattle industry profitable again, including mandatory country of origin labeling.
Now, Karina, you grew up out in the Alliance and Chadron area in the Panhandle, Nebraska. And it's kind of funny when you say that, all of a sudden from back home, our stations out in Crawford and Alliance and Valentine, that area, all of a sudden you became a star. People started, and we already knew that. We have listeners in Iowa, Minnesota, and on down into Kansas and up into North Dakota, Wyoming that talk about you and what a breath of fresh air you are to the cattle industry, and what you do and what you say makes sense. So the folks back home too, they listen in?
Yeah, I get calls on Friday morning or texts on Friday morning after they've heard it on Eagle Communications, KCOW, the hometown stations back there, and so that's kind of fun.
Even my own mom, my ranch mom, was like, well, you need to maybe take some more time off the Hot Barn Report and let that Karina do more shows. And I'm like, you know what? I'm fine with that because she does a great job. What do you see in the future for Karina Jones? Well, I know we have some exciting things coming up down the line. We can't really talk about it right now. We're going to tease you a little bit. But what do you see happening in the future as far as your career in broadcasting and as far as the cattle industry in general and your ranch life?
We've got some things on the table for the cattle industry that are non-negotiables. We have to continue to hold the line and fight for. One of them being Senate Bill 949, the 5014 spot market bill introduced by Charles Grassley in Iowa. And then also we've got this new mandatory country of origin labeling bill introduced by Tester and Thune. And these are non-negotiables. We have got to get these to go through all the way to the finish line, and that's what we're fighting for. RCAF also balances our industry reform efforts by staying active in that third branch of government, that judicial branch of government, representing cattle producers there as well. And so there's never a shortage of work when you are on the RCAF staff. But in terms of me being field director and working alongside you on Hot Barn Report and Your Ag Network, cattle producers are my people, and so I'm most comfortable down a dirt road, at the county fair.
Feel a country song coming on here, Jesse.
At the sale barns at the county fairs, that's where my people are.
Well, you seem comfortable on the air, and as I said, and I can't say it enough, how your passion comes through in your shows, and it's surprising. I'm a master editor. I edit myself, but I have maybe one or two pauses to take out of your show. You are an amazing broadcaster for just starting out, and we tip our hat to you. And how about Jesse Stroud here, doing a great job. He's got to work. He's going to set your laptop up and get all your audio stuff fixed, so you have a state-of-the-art facility. And tip of the hat to Jesse Stroud, man working behind the scenes, and our general manager and business partner as well.
Absolutely.
And as part owner of the Hot Barn Report and your Ag Network, we can't tell you enough how much we enjoy working with you and how fortunate we are to have you on board, and your knowledge and your background with RCAF USA, and as most of all, as a rancher.
Yep, that's right. And I thank your Ag Network for their vision in wanting to bring a real authentic voice to the cattle industry, allowing me to be a part of this with you guys, where I can record right from my office that overlooks the ranch. And maybe that's my passion. Maybe that's just me looking out over cows and kids and horses and a hardworking husband and saying, this is what I'm fighting for.
Absolutely. That's what drives you.
Yeah.
And you know what drives us also? Our 9 hot barns, and we got a big story coming up here. We got some other barns coming on board. We're going to tell you more about that in our next meeting. It's kind of fun. I don't usually like TV stuff.
We've got a lot to keep you guys on the hook for. There's a lot of good things coming out of your Ag Network and Hot Barn Report, so you better stay hooked, because
keep
the surprises are going to keep rolling.
You bet. Let's see what's going on in sports. No, we do need to thank Oliver Barnes and Scott Ryston and the Sioux Steel team with what they've done with jumping on board with Cool Brand Gates, mandatory country of origin labeling, 4th generation, 102-year-old family-owned company. Tip of the hat to Scott Ryston, Julianne Schutz, and the whole staff at Sioux Steel Company. Our friends at DiscountWesternwear.com have backed us in everything we wanted to do involving cattle or the cattle industry, and we are so fortunate to have great sponsors like this and have you, and what a great team. God bless us all. Take us out of here.
As we're sitting here at Platte Livestock today, it truly is the definition of a rural America coalition. We've got
business. Did you say rural?
Yes, I did.
Oh,
Rural. He grew up in a different part of the Sand
Northern
than I. And
Southern twang. Huh?
Yeah, there's some intricacies in pronunciation that we differ in, but. So we're here in Platte, and it makes my heart swell when I see local businesses coming to support this RCAF rollover. We see cattle producers pulling out of their own pocket because they know we have to have mandatory country of origin labeling for them to stay in business. We've got businesses providing the cookies and the ice cream and pitching in for the barbecue. I mean, it makes you realize we're part of a bigger team.
Absolutely. Enough said. Can't top that one. We're out.
Tune in and turn on to True Price Discovery on the Hot Barn Report on this great American radio station, or hit hotbarnreport.com. It's almost unfair, but we have a direct line to some of the nation's hottest sale barns. Prussia Livestock, Lamoni Livestock, Stockman's Livestock, North Platte Stockyards, Crawford Livestock Market, Lemon Livestock, Bassett Livestock Auction, Moobridge Livestock, and Platte Livestock Market. See what's cooking across America's top feedlot and cow-calf states and have a little fun along the way.
I'm your huckleberry.
The Cattle USA Hot Barn Report on this great American radio station.